What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for all you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now, today I have something kind of new, but kind of old, a new little idea. I know before I've done movie reviews, and those are classic horror reviews. So, the problem with that is, for one, I only want to review movies that I deemed classic horror flicks. I don't like to be too negative talking about movies here. But in regards to those classic horror reviews, I tend to go on for 20 minutes or so, and I know some people might like them shorter without spoilers. I know a lot of people like it how it is. I'm going to keep doing the classic horror reviews because when I first started this channel, I just want to talk about horror. And if that's me talking about every detail and giving away the spoilers, so be it. I just want to talk about the movie. But with this new little format I have, it's going to be called Blind Buy Reviews. So pretty much any movie I know nothing about or close to nothing about, or a movie I have never seen before that I own, or just one I know absolutely nothing about, never seen, pretty much a newer movie to me. So, and I want to keep these videos a little shorter, a little easier to watch for the casual viewers, no spoilers unlike my classic reviews. So, yeah, we'll get right into it. The first one I'm going to do is a movie I actually watched last night after work, and that is The Battery. This is a 2012 independent horror movie. Now, pretty much this movie, it's a zombie movie, but it's not really a zombie movie like you would think. Like, it's pretty low budget, for one, which it works for this movie. This movie pretty much follows around two former baseball players, Ben and Mickey, which I wonder if Ben is homage to Night of the Living Dead, but I digress. But yeah, it's pretty much more of like a survival movie between the two, like on the backwoods. Like, it's kind of a little more of like a drama. The conflict between the two. Like, Ben is more of the go-getter. They pretty much adapted to this on the road, never stop anywhere kind of lifestyle, this kind of gypsy life, hitchhiking down these back roads and everything. That's what Ben likes. He thinks, he says like a great white shark that, they keep moving. That's how they survive and everything. That's how they're such dominant, like predators or whatever. And Mickey is more of like a sensitive kind of guy that doesn't want to adapt to this new lifestyle of the zombie apocalypse. He wants to know where they're going. Can we get to, a destination, a place he wants to settle in? So a lot of this movie is them back and forth trying to, battle between their ideas on how they should live their lives in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, and other than that, it's a pretty bare movie. There's not much gore. I would say almost half the movie, the first half, is just them kind of walking around in the woods talking. And I could see where a lot of people wouldn't like it. There were certain parts I didn't like, but yeah, not a bad little movie here. Now, let me get to what I do like and what I don't like about this movie. First of all, the first half, this Mickey guy is so whiny and nasally. To a couple points, it almost made me want to shut the movie off, to be honest with you. And another thing I don't really like was, I see what they were going for, and a lot of people would like this. It got like really like indie film like, and I understand they had to do this because of the low budget, but there's just a lot of really long single shots where nothing is really going on with some kind of hipster bluegrass music playing. Like I said, if that's your thing, all for it. I mean, there's sometimes in this movie it worked, and like I said, I understand with a lower budget they had to do more of this, but there are certain scenes where it drags on and on. There's one scene towards the end where it shows Ben just smoking a cigarette, like the whole cigarette, and he's sitting there smoking for like almost 5 minutes with just silence, and that's it. It's like, I get it in an artistic kind of way, and they do take advantage of that. That's something good that they do, that they they say hide the negatives and accent the positives. So there are a couple scenes where they'll make this work really well, which I like. But I'd say my biggest gripe is probably seeing a lot of people like in this movie where Ben gets drunk in this cabin they stay at, and he's just dancing around to this hipster music while drinking with the headphones on. And I don't know, it just was really weird. I was like, this is just a weird indie hipster movie. But it has a lot of good moments in it. A lot of the time, Ben is trying to get, I just forgot his name. Ben's trying to get Mickey to kind of like get into this apocalypse shit, where at one point he he takes a zombie and puts it in the bedroom with Mickey with a baseball bat and like locks the door and forces him to kill the zombie, which that was a pretty wild moment. And this has one of the funniest moments in a movie I've ever seen, a horror movie actually, because Mickey is like, he just wants like love and normal life. So he gets locked in the car at one point while Ben's out fishing or whatever, and this girl zombie comes up and she's trying to break in, and the girl, you know, she's a zombie, but her boobs and stuff are pressing against the window and everything, and homeboy just pulls down his drawers and starts going to town over like the zombie. I guess that's how desperate he was for like an affection for a woman. And this scene gets like really intense. Like they're not showing anything, but it's like, when's this gonna hit its apex, so to speak? And it's when Ben shoots the zombie, but Mickey doesn't know he's coming back, so he quickly pulls up his drawers, but Ben catches him and laughs at him and takes off like, I'll let you finish, buddy. And that was just so far out there that I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, like I said, this can drag a little bit with just the two characters. There's a handful of people that come and go through the movie, but it's pretty much them. I was not sold on this movie really until the third act, which I would say the third act is worth watching this movie alone because it's something I've never seen, just like the last scene. But so they get into it. I don't want to give this away, but some shit happens where they lose their keys and they decide to stay the night in their Volkswagen. And so when they wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night, zombies are all over the place. So they're trapped in this car for like the entire third act. I've never seen anything like it. It's like 30 minutes of them trapped in this car with zombies just pounding on the window, and it's got some really cool dramatic moments where like the isolation is getting to them and everything. It has a lot of like comic relief in it. At one night, Ben comes up with a plan in the car. He says, "Let's get shit faced." You know, how's that going to help? And then, oh, it will help, and they do, and they have a little montage where they're getting wasted in the car and everything until they have to ultimately figure out a plan, which leads into the ending of the movie. But, you know, for this one, for as many quiet moments there were of just them walking down the trails and everything, because I work second shift, I watched this really, really late after I got out of work. So it did hold my attention for the most part for how slow it was, which I'd say the first half is pretty slow, but it has a lot of charm to it. And for the budget they were on, I think they did a great job. Like I said, there's a handful of scenes in there that are pretty original and pretty cool that make up for a lot of the negatives. And the final third act is really sweet. I wouldn't mind at least watching the third act back again because that was pretty cool stuff. You'd have to see it. Just imagine being trapped in a car with your friend for, they don't say how many days, but it comes off like they're trapped there for a long, long time. So yeah, that's pretty much it in this movie. I don't want to go too much further on it, but as my first blind buy review, I would like to give this one 6 slices of pizza out of 10. Now, it's kind of hard to grade my ranking scale, so this is the first one. I was going to give it a 5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10 just because it's kind of average at best. But for the creativity, for what they did with the budget they had, and for the final act in the car that was really original, I'm going to bump it up a little bit, so I'm going to give it, 6 slices of pizza out of 10. I would highly recommend ordering this. It wasn't very expensive, and I actually think you can watch this on YouTube for free, the battery, but as a collector, I had to pick it up. But maybe I should have gotten the YouTube, just watched it on YouTube because the case came all broken, but that's not the guys who made the movie's fault, so more props to them for this. But yeah, a very original take on zombie movies, on a zombie film, and I'm a huge zombie movie fan. So for the fact that it was a lot different than anything else, and for what it was, for how much money they had, and all the resources, yeah, not a bad flick. I think a lot of you guys would really like it. I suggest picking it up. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions for stuff I don't have in my collection, or stuff that I have that maybe I didn't watch, throw a shot in the dark and just shoot me a movie in the comments, and we'll see if I can watch that one next. But I hope you guys like this new little segment I have here. I know it ran a little longer than I had wanted to, but it's the first one. I wanted to explain everything. Other than that, everyone be safe out there with the pandemic. Blood, Guts, Gore. I'll check you guys next time.